r/NoSleep. Posted by you/CTLW_23. Midnight Hide and Seek. Please like and subscribe to support us. The voice record starts here, so, is it recording now? Said a voice of a girl. I guess another voice replied, it's of another boy. We still have to wait though. Hey Mark, do you bring any snacks with you? Yes, want some? Of course, I don't want to sit idly and just wait. My mouth needs something inside. Sounds of chip bags being thrown is heard. How long we have to wait then? A girl voice, but not the same as the first one. About 15 minutes, after all we need to make sure it past midnight. Another boy voice, not the first two. We still have some minutes left. How about you read the rules of this midnight hide and seek again, Martin? Another deep voice is heard from one corner. Sure Henry, still I wonder who is the one bringing up the idea of this. Haven't you heard before not to play hide and seek at night? It's actually mine. Don't you think having some legacy before we graduate is a good idea? The same deep voice replied. Henry voice has some humor in it. There sometimes is a thin line between a good idea and a bad idea, Henry, and I'm not sure which zone this one in. Trust me, it will be fun. We are the Creepy Club after all. Aren't we all interested in creepypasta thing, Ember? Sure, sound like a cliché plot of grade B horror movie with that one guy who always comes up with a bad idea and his friends don't stop him. You want to know the ending? They are all dead. It's the voice of another unknown girl speaking slowly, trying to make the voice frightening. Stop it, Emily. Martin said, and Chris, for the sake of God, stop jamming your entire hand in the chip bag for a second and send me the paper. The voice of paper was heard. Well, from the post Henry got from the web, it is written here that Martin stopped for a second and continued. For anyone who desires something exciting, Midnight Hide and Seek is one of a game for you. It is a simple hide and seek with additional rules. But be mindful about this game, it can be ordinary or extremely dangerous depending entirely on your luck. Martin voice continued, some distortion was heard for almost a minute before thing turns to normal. ... And here is the list of rules. Remember these all and never ever overlook any. First, you need 6 people to play the game. Always check if your group has 6 members and not other ways around. The more members or less than 6, the greater risk you are in. Sound of counting was heard, the number started from 1 before ending at 6. Second, always check if other members are really humans. Sometimes they really want to play with you, so they disguise. Their delusion is very effective but easy to catch with one tip, they won't be on any photos you try to take, so remember, take a photo for every members of your group. A sound of flash was heard. Then Henry voice asking Ember if there is something abnormal. No, Ember said. Then Martin voice started again. Third, remember that in case you find any in disguise, just point to that person and shout you aren't real. Don't worry, nothing horror will happen, they will just fade away like normal human retreating into shadow. They still have manner for this moment. And unless you want to continue, find the real person until there are actually 6 real persons. After that you can start a game. Be aware that number of things in disguise does not count for players of 6. For example, if you have 3 real persons and 3 in disguise, you are in the same degree of woe as those trying to play with 3 members. Fourth, the more people in disguise, the more aggressive they are going to be. This effect synergize with the rule of having players not equal to 6. Fifth, the place where you are going to play should be abandoned buildings. Number of floors the building has must not be less than 3 after including basement. Sixth, when midnight comes, shouting out loud which 3 floors you will play in. If the building has exactly 3 floors, then there is no need. Never go beyond these 3 floors during playtime. There is a chance you will step in another realm. Seventh, one player is selected to be a seeker by others using voting system. Never try to change person. They hate people who do not respect democracy. Eighth, you all will play only 1 round, which takes exactly 1 hour and 6 minutes. Don't worry or trying to set a clock, they are kind enough to send some signal indicating time is up for you. Ninth, when a hider is found, go back to the room you start and sit there until the game end. No matter what happen or what sound you hear, never leave that room. 10th, when you notice other players as being eerie, take a photo of them to make sure that that person is not the one in disguise. 11th, in case of 10th, run. You will be safe when you reach the room you start. 12th, because of 10th and 11th, this is a kind reminder to always count the number of players after a while. Seeing the same people in different places far from each other indicates a high chance for either of this one is the one in disguise. 13th, after the game ends, don't try to find the one who doesn't come back. They are either lost in that place forever or being sent to be made into human cloth. The latter one is extremely painful, but you don't have to roam the same place for eternity, right? Martin's voice stopped here. Do you think this is a thing? Said Emily. Nah, I think it's a story people write when they are bored, like in Reddit, replied by Henry. Sure, Chris said, with his unsure voice. It's 1 minute to midnight already, shall we start? Mark asked. Of course. Henry said, this is his last word heard. You are a police, being called for finding the missing boy of nearby high school. The report was filed by his family after they learned that he still not came home one morning. Using camera placed all over the city, you were able to identify the place this kid went, the abandoned office building in the abandoned industrial area of the city. The place was built in 1900s but got neglected after the economic crisis. It is exactly 3-story building. The camera that is still functioning in the area caught him entering building around 11 p.m. Officers who entered before you found his belongings, including a phone with very low battery but no other traces nor his body. The phone is connected to power bank which is already dead. This thing may be the reason why the phone is not dead yet, although it is few days after the boy missing. Back to the station, you carefully bring up the phone being connected to your power bank. The screen is not locked and what you see indicating there is a voice recorder's ongoing. Surprisingly not run out of space yet, you end the recording and let the phone configuring the file. You press the start button and that is what you're here. You drag the button on the screen to find another clue. Most of them is just silence after that. Then you notice the voice message, sent at 00:10 a.m., not long after the whatever game these kids were doing started. The sender's name is Martin. You play the voicemail, it starts as, hello, hey, this is Martin. Where are you now, Henry? Aren't we supposed to meet each other at the shop first since, before midnight? Everybody is here except you. Maybe you are still sleeping, so I don't think we can do it today as it passed midnight already. Anyway, don't worry. Ember doesn't feel good, so I think we will go back home as well. Hope to see you at school tomorrow. Bye. You are confused. At the same time, your partner sent a message with topic of finish interview already. You open the message, it is. Finished interviewing this kid's friends. They said they went out as planned but never met him and one of them felt not so good, so they decided to go back home. They thought the kid was sleeping the entire time as he often be. Other than that they don't know. Their names is Martin, Mark, Chris, Ember, and Emily. Gonna send a full report soon. You play the voice record again. Something is strange. You remember hearing others talking before, but this time the only voice heard is Henry's. A few minutes from start you remember that it is the talking between his friends becomes silence. And then the part of reading rules is heard, but not of Martin's voice. It is Henry's voice, speaking to himself. ... First, you need 6 people to play the game. Always check if your group has 6 members and not other ways around. The more members or less than 6, the greater risk you are in. It is not counting of 1 to 6 as you have heard before. Instead it is Henry speaking 1 for 6 times. Each time he spoke, the voice seems to be disrupted by static sound. And if your ear is still good, you think you hear distant laughing in the background. Second, always check if other members are really humans. Sometimes they really want to play with you, so they disguise. Their delusion is very effective but easy to catch with one tip: they won't be on any photos you try to take, so remember, take a photo for every members of your group. A sound of flash was heard. Then Henry voice asking Ember if there is something abnormal. It is as before. But this time it is not Ember voice saying no either. It is Henry answering himself yes multiple times, mingled with what he was going to speak next. Third, remember yes that in case you find any disguise, just point to that person and shout yes you aren't real. Don't worry, nothing horror will happen yes, they will just fade yes away like normal human retreating into shadow. They yes still have manner for this moment. His voice seems to be distorted each time he said yes. The static sound increases to the point that you cannot hear what he is speaking. Then there is silence. You pick the phone up to examine what is wrong, then you hear the word, the sound that is so quiet you try to catch it. You bring the phone so close to your ear hear what the sound is. Then comes the voice so loud before the phone black out. Yes. There were never 6 of them in the first place, neither did he was alone.